Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamualaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, family. Welcome once again to another Thinking Thursday. There go our sister right there. There she go.
Right on time.
She right on time. She's armed and ready.
Right.
Praise be to Allah. So, sis, how we gonna do it? We gonna do the commercials and everything first, and then we'll bring you on, okay? Because if we bring you on, we can't take you out. All right, family. Welcome once again to Mind Spark Creations, where we let the spark in our mind create a new reality. All praises is due to Allah. We got a very special guest today, our beloved sister, Shawntell Muhammad. Not only is she the health guru, but now she's a journalist for the Final Call newspaper. All praises is due to Allah. We definitely excited about that. So, get your questions ready. Get your thinking caps on for those that's aspiring to be journalists today. You can ask those wonderful questions of how it all happened. But before we get too deep in, you know what we got to do, right? You got to give you a few things to support. All right.
Now you can get the same uncompromising truth you've come to expect from the Final Call newspaper on all your connected devices. Subscribe to the Final Call digital edition today. Go to subscribe.finalcalldigital.com.
Worldwide, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Download the Final Call radio app and take us everywhere. On your phone, on your computer, on your tablet, on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can also log on to finalcall.com and click the Listen Live button, or finalcallradio.com. Final Call Radio, the official voice of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam.
That's right. All right. Taxi Noon fam. We have it here.
Let's stipulate that this is not a vaccine. We need to be really clear. We're using the term vaccine to sneak this thing under public health exemptions. This is not a vaccine. This is a mRNA packaged in a fat envelope that is delivered to a cell. It is a medical device designed to stimulate the human cell into becoming a pathogen creator. It is not a vaccine. Vaccines actually are a legally defined term, and they're a legally defined term under public health law. They're a legally defined term under CDC and FDA standards. And a vaccine specifically has to stimulate both an immunity within the person receiving it, but it also has to disrupt transmission. And that is not what this is. They have been abundantly clear in saying that the mRNA strand that is going into the cell is not to stop transmission. It is a treatment.
Pump like that.
Now you can go ahead, honey. You can do coffee for the people. Yeah.
Thank you all for your prayers for Brother Peter and his family. His daughters are doing much better.
Make me wish it was dinner time right now.
Yay.
All right, family. Well, we got to welcome our guests right. We got to welcome them right or not at all. So we got a very special song that we created for our beloved sister. And we pray she likes it. And then we're going to jump right on in. It's a celebration. Come on. Come on. We got to wake your minds up this morning. She says it's a little early for house music. Never. Come on. Come on. Woo. All right now. Party over here, party over there. All right. We gave y'all enough for this morning. We gave you enough. It's time to bring our sister on. We are blessed once again to be with our sister. But this time, we get to talk about something different. Oh, praises due to Allah. Of course, we love talking to her about health and wellness. But now we get to talk to her about being part of the baddest, boldest, coldest, most courageous newspaper on the planet Earth.
That's
the
right.
Final Call.
The Final Call.
That's
family.
what I'm talking about. Here she is, Sister Shawntell Muhammad.
All praise is due to Allah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. Thank you.
Oh, yes,
How are
yes,
you today?
yes.
I'm good. Thank you.
You are looking amazing.
That's right, that's
Oh,
right.
thank you. You are too.
All praise is due to Allah,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I'm just hanging in over here. You know, I can't look good as y'all. I'm hanging in over here.
Hang on in.
Yeah.
I pray that we woke everybody up this morning, get them brain cells moving and activated.
Come on.
Because we definitely want to talk to you today about some very important things that are going on our planet. We know that, we thank you, first of all, for coming on to Mind Spark Creek.
Watch out now. Watch out. Watch out now.
Choking on my own breath.
Watch out now.
But we thank you for coming on to Mind Spark Creations. Normally we have you on Love My Kidneys because of the wealth of knowledge that you have as far as the health and wellness. But now I know that for the last few months, right, you've
Yes,
been
ma'am.
working with the Final Call newspaper and writing some wonderful articles in the Final Call newspaper. So we wanted to talk to you today about the Final Call newspaper.
Come on now.
Thank you
Come on
all again
now.
for having me. Well, it's great working for the Final Call. I actually started working with the Final Call in 1997.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. That was
Okay.
my very first article ever was in 1997.
Oh,
And
okay.
then
Go ahead.
from that point on up until a few months ago, it was sporadic. I would have articles in the paper sporadically, and then just a few months ago, that's when it became more permanent.
Watch out now.
That means you were doing an
got-
excellent job.
Got to work with brother not by them over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So my first question is, because I really know the answer, but I want our audience to know the type of due diligence that goes into putting the article in the Final Call, the type of research and the check and the recheck and all of that, before it hits the presses. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Okay. Well, it all depends. Like if you're covering a story that you're on location for,
Okay.
then you're going to make sure that you definitely get a statement or comments from the host of whatever where the location was at. Like if I go to an event, then I want to definitely talk to the event planners and get a lengthy statement from them. And of course, you fact checking even from information from them. If you're doing something that's home based, if it's virtual, try as much, like Savior's Day last year was virtual.
Right.
So you're gonna try to make sure that you get all the information that you can, especially from the host of the event and the participants. Virtually, the participants, of course, are going to be in the chat rooms. So you just pray and pray that participants will send a comment to you. And if not, then you just capture the enthusiasm that's going on in the chat room. Yeah. But back to being on location, which I started from the very beginning, being on location. And that's my preferred method. And and like I said, fact checking, and making deadline.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
I'm getting better.
Okay. Come on.
Yeah. I believe I'm getting better. Savior's Day, Yeah, you got to be on point, because if we cover a workshop for Savers Day, that article's due 2 hours after this workshop is over.
Ooh,
Okay.
wow.
Yeah, so you got 2 hours.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's quick right there.
Yeah, and then like breaking stories, like when we did the piece for DMX when he passed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have 4 hours to interview friends, family, write the article, get it in. That was 4 hours. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. That's a quick turnaround.
Yeah.
That's a quick turnaround right there. You got to be on it. You got to
Absolutely.
be on it.
But I love it. Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, that's a good stress.
yes,
That's a good
yes,
type of stress. So yeah.
yes, yes.
So you always have to have your ear to what's going on in the world,
Yeah.
because anything can happen at any moment, and you want to be, on it as quickly as possible.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Yes.
So one of the things that I was really intrigued and I enjoyed was your article regarding the weather.
Oh,
I
thank you.
thought that was a really very well written
Yeah.
article, very informative. I learned so much from what it was that you wrote. If you can just give us a little bit more information on how did you go about gathering all of the statistics, gathering when you're doing your research and your fact checking, because most of us go to the internet and what we read,
Right.
you
Right.
know, and sometimes we take it for
Right.
gospel, and we have done no research whatsoever.
Right.
Yeah.
Um,
Right.
if
Right.
you could just give us some of the details on how you gathered that
Beautiful.
information,
Beautiful
and
question.
how you bring in the research.
Well,
Yeah.
thankfully, working with the Final Call, you have a lot of support. There's a support team. Like Brother Nava and Sister Starla, they're wonderful. Like when they give you an assignment, they don't just give you an assignment. Like you get like a base of, what they're looking for, and like kind of walk you through exactly, what to look for, what information will be needed. And then we have a plethora of reference points, from finalcall.com that we can always fall back on.
Good.
So like for
Good.
me with that the weather piece, basically looking at other sources, including the Final Call, and definitely words from the minister and the messenger, and and never ever depend on one source of information.
Come
Yeah.
on.
So
Come on.
and
Come
we try our best to stick with quote unquote reputable outside sources if we're not, delving into the minister or the messenger's words, or
on.
or
Right.
finalcall.com. If we're looking at outside sources, so we do try to stick with, reputable sources. And also like with that piece, I learned a lot. So yeah, when I'm writing, and I get excited because I'm learning as I'm as I'm gathering information. I'm like, up until that point, I did not know that point of the United States didn't get so hot, whereas the large majority of the residents did not have air conditioners. They
Mm,
didn't need it because their summers or their weather basically year round is perfect.
Mm.
But
mm,
as we see, the climate is changing rapidly.
mm,
Yes.
mm.
So that may change. They may be looking into getting air conditioners now, and other things that may occur.
Now that we're talking about the weather,
Yeah.
um, it's actually one of my favorite subjects. But here in Arizona, in Tucson, we have been getting so much rain.
Right.
Like we've been here for 3 years, and I've never seen day after day after day, not just rain, but like they call them monsoons,
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
because you get these flash floods, and then it floods the area. So it's like a monsoon, going through your town.
right.
Wow. Yeah, I saw a video of that a few weeks ago. I
Mhm.
thought it was just just something that's wanting to happen. Just a rare occurrence. But you're saying it's becoming more common.
Well, this
Pull up light.
no, Yeah, this last month, I mean, every day it's like rain during the day, extreme rain, and not just rain, but thunderstorms. Like
Okay.
I felt like I was back in Belize, and Belize get like the earth shakes,
Yes, it
Okay.
does.
and so the lightning and the thunder. We have a what do you call it? A security camera, and so I ain't going outside and that kind of stuff, but I turn on my security camera, and
Right.
the sky just lights up, and these loud thunderstorms, or the sounds. And I just find that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's words, as this world continues to push their program of depopulation and working to you know try to secure themselves and harm others, that the
Yeah.
weather is really coming after them. The weather is increasingly um record numbers,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
like you were talking about the heat in certain places, where we were at 114, like before the rain started. We were hitting 114, 108. I mean, just blistering heat, and
Mm-hmm.
then the extreme rain. So I know in Chicago that you all had been receiving extreme weather as well.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much. No. No. Maybe like in surrounding areas, yes, but
Okay.
the actual city of Chicago, not so much. Well, I don't know. I'm from the desert, so
Okay.
what they consider hot, I'm not hot. So so
Okay.
I don't know. So I may be the wrong person. So I'm from the middle of California. So
Okay.
our normal summer is 110, 115.
Right, right.
So I'm like, it's not hot.
Wow.
All right. Well,
Wow.
I'm talking about 90. Come on.
No.
Right.
And,
I'm like, okay.
and for those who may not be aware, a monsoon is not just a rainstorm now. We're talking about possible billions of gallons of water in a very short period of time, 1, 2 hours, 3 hours, stuff like that. So when we say a monsoon, just I mean literally like the sky just open up and just pour buckets of water down.
Yeah.
Go no, I'm just,
Yeah. Yeah. When I was coming up, we it was like during the summer to have flash floods.
Mhm.
That was a normal occurrence. Um, or even dust storms. But then when
oh
I saw a video of what you all are describing, yeah, I never experienced that. So,
yeah,
and
me and
also
my
like right now,
mhm.
in Dubai, I believe they are going through a heat wave, and their scientists came up with rain. They made rain to try to cool the area off.
Right, I read
So,
that.
so to me, when I saw that, that kind of like basically validated what a lot of people are saying, that a lot of this stuff that's going on is man-made.
Mm,
So
mm.
Mm,
I don't
mm,
know.
I, I
But
know the heart. I think it's called the heart machine.
heart.
right.
Hmm.
Um, that they're using. But I remember the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan also said that they can do that, but the extreme weather, they don't have the capacity to bring about the extreme weather changes.
Yeah.
They are able to make rain, or bring some clouds in, and things like that, but what's the extreme that's going on, the record numbers that they're seeing across the board, across the world, is only by Allah's doing,
Yes.
and that is to bring justice to what has happened to us and what's going on the planet. So I'm
Yeah.
so glad that the Final Call newspaper covers these type of articles, for the readers. You have another question for sister?
Yeah, and more of a statement. What I love about the final call is that, of course, it's dealing with black news all around the world, but not only that, it's giving you a a divine perspective of things. It's giving you a look into scripture like you never looked at it before, from the articles of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the articles of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, Brother Jabril, Mother Tynetta. You look in it and you may see something and you like, wow, okay, I never did realize it like that before. I never did see it in that way before, because we've been told about these type of things that will go on in this hour, but to actually see God's man paint that mural of what's going on from the scripture and open it up for us so that we can say, oh, okay, well, there it is right there. There it is right there. And just to be able to look at it and understand that the Bible and the Quran are living books, that we actually walking through these pages right now, and it's not just history lessons. So I definitely love that aspect, of the final call. And I'm just so grateful for the final call because number one, it's really, you're not going to find lies and stuff in there. Right. You're not going to find lies in there. And it's not we're not trying to be spin doctors. We don't have no agenda other than to tell the truth and to get the people to see what's going on. And a lot of people, they may not understand that, that the mass media that we see is corporate control. So therefore, to have an independent Black newspaper like the Final Call that's going to deliver that hard-hitting truth that we need and be able to guide us in this hour is just so valuable. So I just, more so than anything, I wanted to thank you and the whole staff and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan for lifting that banner up once again, so all praise is due to Allah.
Yes, ma'am. So let me ask this question, sis. Kind of go back to when you first started writing. What was your motivation? Have you always liked to write and do research? If you could give us, just a little bit more information about you as a journalist, as a researcher, what was your inspiration?
I actually, before I wrote my first article, I've always liked to read. I've always been an avid reader. In high school, English was my favorite subject.
Okay.
However, I was at home one evening watching the news back at home in California, and this young brother, he attended Fresno State University, and he was across the street from Fresno State University at a party that occurred in some apartments across the street from the school. And at that time, Fresno and Clovis, California, very extremely racist. Like, to the point where at night you can't, if you're Black, you couldn't go to certain areas at nighttime. That's how it was in 1997. Okay. So the brother was at a party, predominantly white, and he wasn't from the area. He was just at school at Fresno State, coming from, I forgot what city he's from. He ran into some skinheads, and they beat him into a coma. And I saw that on the news, and I just got inspired and motivated to go where the students had gathered, and they were protesting outside of those apartments. It was a protest or something going on. I went, and I decided to write an article about what was happening in Fresno, California, the racism and everything. So that was my very first article. Brother James, he was the editor of the Final Call newspaper at that time. And he basically walked me through the process of writing it, guided me through the whole process. That was my very first article ever. Wow. Yeah, it was.
Oh, that's beautiful. beautiful.
The brother that was beaten into a coma, his name is Malcolm Boyd, and it happened in 1997.
Okay.
That
Yeah.
name sound real
Did he
familiar.
survive?
He did survive, and come to find out, both his parents were ex Black Panthers.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and then like as far as, and then my love of health came about. So, eventually, basically, I guess by force, I combined the two because once I moved here to Chicago, um I started having babies and I couldn't go on location anymore. So I was at home.
Okay. Yeah.
I was at home. So I'm like homebound. And so that's how the merge, me writing health articles, came about because I was
Oh,
at home. So,
yes,
Wow.
ma'am. Well, that's the beauty of life.
Yeah.
And we go with the flow of life. And because I think your passion for the people, that's from what I can hear, the core of your writing is that you love the people, and so you want to help the people the best you can, but you have to go with the flow of life.
yeah,
Having children is one of the most important parts of our world because we cannot exist without the babies. you
right.
know so that role that you were playing as mom, of course, was extremely important. And the fact that you were writing and still doing your research on health, and all of that goes into the babies. And
Yeah,
now the babies grow up, and then now they have a passion.
yes,
One, they love the people, so whatever direction they go in, and you put that into them, as you were pregnant with them, as you were raising them. So I think that that's very important too. Is following your passion. Why God put you on this earth? He will show us. All we have to do is look, pay attention, and go with it,
yes,
and
ma'am.
let it develop. Because now that you've done that, now you're back to, oh, I can go out in the field now. They're a little bit older, you
Right,
know. I
right.
can just, so that's a wonderful thing
That's
to.
exactly where I'm at. Because once they hit a certain age, I did contact Brother Naba.
Yes,
And I'm like, yeah,
yes,
yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
yes.
So let's talk about the integrity that it takes to be a writer for the final call,
Mm,
because, it's one thing to write,
yeah,
but it's another thing to have the integrity necessary to deliver that hard hitting truth
mm.
that we need. Can you speak a little bit into that type of the integrity that's necessary in the news media and why?
yes. Like you stated before, outside sources or just mainstream media, then to me, my opinion, there is no integrity.
Mm,
They will make up stuff. They will twist it. Um, and I'm not saying this because I write for the Final Call newspaper. That's just, it is what it is. That's just what they do.
mm,
Um, Print newspaper, um, televised information. I would say the large majority is made up. With the Final Call newspaper, it is not made up. And also with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, he's head of the newspaper. He's
Yeah,
not going for that. He
yeah,
right.
reads, yeah, he reads every single article before it gets printed.
wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I
every,
didn't know that.
yes, yes. Your article have to go through the minister before it gets approved to be printed.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's another thing. That's another good stress, though. hmm
That's right, because you
Wow.
know that he's read your article.
I
Yeah.
know. That's what I'm like.
Right,
When I'm actually, I love writing, and I'm like the whole time, heart just like, oh my god, oh my god. So
Yes.
yeah, because,
right.
and then from the minister, the brothers, the FOI, they're out with the paper. And, that's a tremendous sacrifice being out there for, a certain amount of hours. And then depending on where you live, you're in extreme weather with
Right.
the paper. So that, everyone plays a part in,
Right.
in the final call newspaper. And just knowing that your people are reading your words, that's like, we weren't here when the Egyptians built the pyramid, and now thousands of years later we're able to see into their lives based off of what they left us. That's how I see writing.
Yes.
Generations from now,
Mm.
our ancestors are going to be able to see our how we lived, how we thrived, and what everything that we went through during this period because writers.
Yes.
Right,
All
right.
praises to Allah. And you know what? I'm
Go
just
ahead.
want to say
Go
that
ahead.
two things. One, to me, is so disturbing that they want to take out W.E.B. Du Bois and so many of our writers from the educational system.
Mm-hmm.
They're in the American schools. What do they call it?
The race theory,
Critical
the
race.
critical race theory.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've been hearing that phrase
Yeah.
lately. I haven't really paid attention to it, but it all depends on where you live because, like, again, like I said, I'm from the middle of California, Fresno, California. Those the W.E.B. Du Bois and all the other black never mentioned ever
Mm.
Wow.
in the schools I attended. Never.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it all
So,
depends on where
right.
you live. And
Right.
you attend public school, you're gonna come in contact with those people.
Mm.
No, no. So not all school districts did that anyway. So
Right.
that
Right.
never even existed. It still doesn't exist.
But now
Um,
they're making
yeah.
it now they're making it law, and they don't want to discuss anything that's going to make them look bad in history.
Right.
So slavery, none of that.
We never discussed that anyway, where I'm from. Never. So
Yes.
and that's why
Wow.
I'm like, what are you that's why maybe that's why I never really paid attention to these last few weeks of that phrase because I'm like, that's not a reality, in all school districts. It all depends. I guess you're talking about major cities
Mm.
because like in small towns like where I'm from, that just it never happened. Like for me, being born and raised in the Nation of Islam, I believe that's the only reason why outside of school, I consciously, purposely sought out that type of information, you
Mm.
know, during the
Right.
summer and on the weekends.
Mm.
In where I'm from, we had to have a Black student union.
Okay.
So, like I said, like it depends on where you live because
Right.
even today in this day and time, depending on where you live, you're not getting that anyway.
Mm. See, I grew up, and Emma Till's mother was my teacher. So we had plays where we had to memorize Martin Luther King's speech.
Mm-hmm.
So for us in Chicago, I grew up with that knowledge and that information. So and then I came into the nation at a young age and started studying. So for me, it's like, how do you live without the knowledge of yourself?
Yeah.
And what happened and how you got in this situation. And so
Yeah. Yeah.
really understanding our people a lot more that have not, they're not in touch. They don't
Yeah,
know.
like of course they gave us during Black History Month. Of course
Right.
we got Martin Luther King, Surgeon of Truth, a little bit of Malcolm,
Rosa Parks.
Frederick Douglass.
Mhm.
That's it.
Right.
Yeah. And then like when I became an adult, no, I'm sorry. When I was still in high school, our Black Student Union, we petitioned to get one of our street names changed to
Oh,
Martin Luther King Drive.
okay.
But
Nice.
yeah, so
Nice. Yeah,
but you know what? At the end of the day, because we know what the public school system is about, If you are a parent, especially a mother, it's your responsibility to instill this knowledge into your child or children. And if you're an adult and you yourself don't have this information, well, in this day and time, it's literally at your fingertips. You have to go and seek out this knowledge. Everything is not going to be spoon fed to us. At some point, we have to take responsibility.
Absolutely,
That's
sis.
right.
And
That's
I
right.
think it's important that the final call is read as a family, especially when you have small children, because you
Hmm.
want them to be aware of what's going on the planet. You
Yeah.
know, the final call is not just a Chicago newspaper.
Right.
It's
Right.
not just a Nation of Islam, newspaper. It's not
Right.
just the, United States of America. It is an international, worldwide newspaper that covers information from all angles. You know,
Yes.
I love it. It's spiritual, it's political, it's about your health, it's about,
Hmm.
it just covers so much. And
Yes.
when we were homeschooling our children, it was part of our curriculum,
Hmm.
read the Final Call newspaper together. And I think that as families, whatever nationality you are, it is so much knowledge and information about our current situation and past situation to help us and give us guidance to get through this hour, and to into our future. So the Final Call newspaper is a critical newspaper
It
to
is.
have and to read every week digitally or physically.
And now, in this day and time, definitely this period, because like what we got to talk about COVID.
oh no.
With COVID basically took over our lives.
Mm,
To get unbiased critical information, read the Final Call newspaper. You want to know about COVID, how you can overcome it or prevent it, read the Final Call newspaper. You
yes.
can go on Google right now. They have scrubbed the internet of any information other than government based information regarding COVID.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. I believe it says.
Yeah, I was just looking at a article today. That was, I believe, it was 2011. Hold on, I can pull it up. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
It's thinking Thursday. I'm getting phone calls. They know it's what's up with that.
Thinking Thursday. I like that. I like that.
Like
Thinking
every
Thursday.
Thursday. Every Thursday is thinking Thursday. We got to think around here.
Why I
We
start thinking about Taco Tuesdays? So
because every day something got to be going on, right?
every day is Taco Day. No.
Right.
It is around here.
I can't find it right now, but it was an article that was talking about Bill Gates, and it was I send it to you once I get it because I had posted it on my Instagram, and he was saying about the utilizing vaccinations as a means to depopulate the earth. This is 2011 or so.
Mm-hmm.
So this is all the way back then. This was carried, like we know, like some people don't know about Harper's Magazine and stuff like that. They don't know about these kind of magazines and newspapers and whatnot. And this was one of those that they talk to themselves. And if you're not in the know, then you're not going to pick that information up. You know what I mean? And that's what it was saying. So like you said, in the midst of all of what's going on, to be able to know, okay, well, what can I do legally? What can I do here? How can I
Mhm.
my immune system? How can I
Right.
do all these things when we definitely live in a lot of us in the realm of confusion.
Mm.
We
Yes.
don't know what to do, where to go, how to do.
Right.
And unfortunately, a lot of us we just, as our lessons say, we easily led in the wrong direction and hard to lead in the right, no matter what you telling them and what you're showing them. They're saying, well, you don't know what you're talking about because your name not Dr. So-and-so and all of that. My name and our name don't have to be doctor anything to know what research says. Brother Rizza Islam, he's not a doctor.
Right.
He does his due diligence and his research to bring you the information. Brother Student Minister Abdul Malik Saeed, they do their research and their due diligence to bring you this information so that you understand exactly what it is, what's going on. Because this is truly, we're living in the midst of spin doctor age. They're going to spin everything. They're going to spin everything. You're in mass confusion right now.
Yes.
You're in mass confusion. And this is why the final call is just so important, because I'm not saying that the final call is the only newspaper. Of course, there are others out there. But, nothing like the final call. And I believe one of the main powers of the final call is that leg work that the brothers do.
Yeah.
Going to the doors. You might get the Sun-Times delivered at your front door, but they not gonna talk to you about nothing that's in the Sun-Times. The Tribune. Did you check this article out? No, they're not gonna do that.
No.
So
black man.
Yeah.
And woman is out here doing that. Jamie has a question.
All right, Mr.
My son has a question for you, sis.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
So I wanted to ask, how big is your graphics team? Because I know them graphics take, a lot of work.
My graphics?
The graphics team for the final call.
You know what? That's not my area. I write and then submit. That they have a whole graphic team.
Yeah. I know his brother Tim. I believe Brother Harold and them is still over there. So that's at least three. That's at least three, if not more than that.
He started speaking a whole nother language. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Any other questions?
No.
Okay.
So here's my question for you. Whether you realize it or you don't, this is like being in an exalted position, right? Writing for the final call. And one day, your grandchildren is gonna be talking to you and really realize that you were writing that history down, right? And say, Grandma, that was you. This is your article. This is, oh my God, that's you standing next to the man of God. Oh my Lord. So for those that are coming up, young brothers and sisters that are really interested in this line of work, I know that wasn't like your initial thing, that's what you were just gonna do at first. But for those who are aspiring to write for the final call or any type of journalism at all, what would you say to them about, what it takes to do something like that?
Well, okay. I know for me, you definitely have to have passion, and just a love of reading, and writing, and just stay consistent with sticking with the facts. You can't put in your opinion or as we say, spin it to, well, it should be this. No, we're sticking with facts, actual facts, at all times. Yeah, so because I never went to school for journalism or health.
Come on,
so
that's what makes it beautiful. Why I'm asking you this.
Yeah, so you just basically gotta know, okay, this is my purpose in life. This is why I'm here, and it just come natural. What I know, that's been my experience.
Yeah.
It comes natural. Follow instruction, like I said, Sister Starla, Brother Naba, they give me direction. This is how the angle they want the paper, so you deliver it that way.
Right.
Now, if they don't give you direction, and that means it's open to you, then
Come on, talk about that.
yeah. So now you're free to explore and make it great, based on your lens, your actual lens. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Great
So
pursuit to
so
allow.
let me ask this. So like like a rapper with a pen when he's writing his lyrics, right? And they're trying to, of course, make it sound the best that it possibly can. Is that same type of energy? Not spinning it or nothing, but you
Flow.
want to get that flow and you want
Right.
to get the words right and you want to be like, oh man, I wrote that.
Right. 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 Because like as I'm writing or as I'm actually like at the location, you're in a certain mindset. You're in a certain you're in work zone. You're listening intently. So you're basically absorbing information.
Mm,
When I go back and actually read the article, I'm like, wow, okay.
wow.
You really don't get the depth of it until once the final product is produced.
Yes.
Mm,
And then those
mm.
graphics are put with it, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. Oh, and the word count. Yeah, I got to get better with that. But yeah, yeah. They did the word count. You
Mm,
got to have some articles. You got to be between 400 to 600 or more. So yeah, so you definitely, and you got a tight time frame also. So you have to basically discipline yourself to
mm,
stay focused and get it in exactly how the editor wants it.
right.
So
Mm.
again, if you don't have a word count, if you don't have direction, you just basically just free. Yeah, that's your time to let the editor see what you're about.
Right.
Okay, okay. Well, I mean, man, that's kind of what I figured. That's kind of what I figured on that. With what it is that you all do. So, have your children, said your young children, have they like really realize that mommy's writing for the final call? I mean, have
Yeah.
they realized that? I mean, and like, what is their reaction? What is that response?
The when I did the DMX piece,
Uh-huh.
it wasn't just me, it was myself and two other writers.
Okay.
And they saw my name attached, they like, what? But then with this weather one, that's when it really hit them. I gotta send you a picture. They got the article framed for me. Yeah,
Oh,
the weather edition. Yeah.
oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
Beautiful.
I'm talking about.
All
That's
praises to
what I'm
Yeshua
talking
above.
about. See, you don't just have to be no singing or rapping superstar. You could be a writing superstar. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Yeah.
Yes. And I think that's so important for the hour that we're living in. As I said, I really think families should sit and read the Final Call newspaper. But
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to talk about literacy a little bit and the importance of reading. Why should we read? The news comes on. It was
Yeah.
can't remember. He said, "Why read a book?" Oh, I was watching Matilda. He said, "Why read a book? Everything is on television."
Right, right,
And so
right,
I
right.
think that that's kind of the mindset of a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
that we don't read anymore. My mom is 80 by Allah's grace and mercy, and she's started to get the physical copy of things. She
Yeah.
said because one day it's not going to be available, and I want
Yes.
my grandchildren to have it. So how important is reading?
Reading. oh my God, it delves into so many facets. Like, it's good brain exercise and it keeps the mind sharp. So you are reducing your chances of developing Alzheimer's and
Wow.
dementia. Also, when you read, you are you are absorbing um the energy of those words better than listening to it um or watching it on the news. um and you have a better understanding of what's being conveyed. And for those people that do have literacy, I don't want to say problem, adversity, there's help. You can get help. You don't have to. I know there's a stigma, because we see a lot of those memes, people making fun of people that may have
All
trouble
right.
reading or misspelling words. And I personally I don't think those are funny, because that's
It's
someone's
real.
life.
It's
That's
real.
how a lot of people they get into the entertainment industry, especially
Mhm.
back in the day. They signed those contracts because they couldn't really read, or they read but didn't understand what they was reading.
Right.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, so you
Yes.
know you should there's plenty of hotlines you can call to find a local area or tutor in your area. These days, it's a lot of virtual help online.
Mhm.
So I would encourage you, if you have trouble reading, child, adult, whoever, to get some help to improve your reading.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, our son has actually taken up literacy on Saturday mornings at it's 10:19 Arizona time. So that will be 12:19 Central Standard Time, where he actually works with Black anime and comics. So he's working with literacy by reading the Black comics on his podcast
Yeah.
every Saturday to encourage reading in the Black community, not just amongst our youth, but those who are struggling. They can read
Yes.
along with him through the comic book, which is it's sort of entertaining. Some of it really talks about our history,
Yeah.
it talks about superpowers and things like that. So it's entertaining, but it's literacy. And
Yes.
I think the more that we encourage that, we used to have that at the mosque in Chicago where we would have literacy night,
Right. Right.
Oh, okay.
Brother Jason Kareem was
yes,
doing that,
he was
and his
doing that.
mom.
And so the children would come and they would read. And then at one point, the children were writing books.
Yeah.
They would just, write the book. And I don't remember how they would, bind it up, but it was like probably,
Oh no, they had a writing tablet,
okay,
and so they would draw the pictures and write the
right.
words, and it
Hmm.
was like a spiral kind of notebook.
Yes,
And then at the end, the children could actually take the book that they made and wrote home with them
yes.
to
Wow.
inspire that type of writing
And literacy,
and
right,
literacy.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I really like what your son is doing, because, well, as he would know, I'm not sure about you two, but I know as he would know, reading about Doctor Strange is different than watching Doctor Strange in a movie.
Yes,
That's one of
yes,
my favorite characters.
yes. Because you get so much more detail,
It's more
you
detail.
know,
Yeah.
about the story, and like he knows all the backdrops of all of that stuff
Yeah.
Yeah.
because he reads,
Yeah.
and it's something that intrigues him. So as he does he has a whole website and everything where he sells the comics.
What?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
called. We'll put it in the chat for everyone, but it's Black anime,
Mhm.
comics, and sci-fi. And so he just kind of covers everything, bringing in those Black superheroes and helping us to be more love ourselves,
Mhm.
but read
Yeah.
about ourselves,
Yeah.
encouraging that environment. And because so many young Black children, all they have is the stuff that's on the TV,
Well,
today.
and now these devices, you got your
Yeah.
iPads, your phones.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And so now, like in my home, 7 days a week. Doesn't matter if it's summertime or not. You are going to write. You're going to read for at least 30 minutes to an hour.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, excellent. My mom used to do that. In the summertime, we had book reports. We had to get a book and we had to do a book report
Mm-hmm.
every summer. She didn't care about, what was going on in school. I mean, it was to the point that we would play school, and when our cousins would come over, because education was important.
Yeah.
It was important to exercise the mind. And
Yes. Yes.
as adults, I think, yo, I'm done with that. I got out of high school, praise God, and then we just kind of dropped the ball,
Yeah.
uh, at that point. But, and even myself, I have to make myself read more. Um, I read, but like finishing a whole book, that's not always been an easy task. And
Okay.
I've never liked fantasy books. I've always liked the, self help, or, something that I can get something from.
Yeah. Yeah.
You,
Because I
you,
know, like, for myself, especially when we were on lockdown, and eventually I started going through bookstore withdrawal. And I'm like, I want to go to bookstore. I know that's nerdy or whatever.
Library, something.
I need to go inside of a bookstore. I mean, it's so calming, and
Yeah.
just to flip through a brand new book. I know I have plenty of books here at home, but I read them all. But
yeah.
Yeah.
so just being inside of a store, like there's bookstores around me that's open, but it was just curbside. I'm like, that's not the same. So
Right. Right. Yeah, so if they put us back on lockdown, your brother literally has thousands of PDF books, so you can put it on your iPad and flip through it.
I
And,
have books on
and
my iPad.
I'm
Yes.
telling you, I'm
Hmm.
telling you. So all kind of stuff on all kind of
Mm.
different subjects and stuff. I pride myself in going and scouring the internet, finding stuff.
Mm.
Yes. Yeah.
Things that I wanted. Things I couldn't necessarily afford at that time. I mean,
Hmm.
the book collection I got would have probably been about $30,000, $40,000. So that not coming out of my pocket right now.
Well, that's how Amazon got started. Jeff
Mm.
Bezos and his wife at the time, they had thousands of books between the two of them. They were in their living room just surrounded with books. And Amazon was born.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they started with Kindle first. Was that first?
No, no. They probably was selling their
I
book.
don't think I'm not sure exactly. I'm just
Okay.
mad because I'm like, wait a minute. Y'all sitting
I
in your
got
living
thousands
room. I got books full. I got a living room full of books.
of
I'm like,
Well,
why did I come up with that?
well, beloved, I say this. It's not undoable again because you just have to do it
Yeah.
specialized stuff that as we know with the critical race theory, a lot of things is about to disappear. So
Mm.
I'm just talking to everybody so you know.
Mm.
So when we talking about no more W.E.B. Du Bois, no more
Hmm.
Frederick Douglass and all of that, what does that mean? I'm gonna paint the whole picture for you. They are the publishers. They
Yeah.
are the printers of the books for the most part. So therefore, since they're the publishers and the printers of the book, that mean if they take them out of print, then
Hmm.
if you don't have them, you won't have them.
Hmm.
And they're going to make sure that you don't have it if you don't already have it. So when we are saying right now, while you can go into these bookstores, I just give you an example of what I mean. It was a
Right there, right?
it was a library. Yeah, I'll show it. It was a library in Georgia, and I went in there, and they have where they sell the books at when they getting ready to get rid of them on the shelf. They had a brand new copy of the History of Mankind by
Mm.
Henry Van Loon for $1.
What?
For $1. You heard me.
Did
For
you get it?
$1. I sure did.
We're
See,
looking for
I was
extra
looking for
copies.
extra copies too. See that's what I do. I go and look for those things that people don't necessarily see value, like this book
Yeah.
right here. With brother Ishmael mentioned this
Yes.
right here, Audrey Smedley. This book right now is like $80 or $90 on Amazon. So they not only gonna put it out of print, they're gonna make it astronomically high so that you won't want to get it. So my advice for those who looking for things like thrift books,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. Get them books that might be a little tattered, but got all the pages in there, so you don't have to pay them high prices. And another thing they're doing, like Internet Archive, if you familiar with that, so they taking those books, digitizing them, and you can like read them like online, but they won't let you download it and stuff like
Okay.
that.
Right. Right.
They won't let you download it, but you can read it online. And I'm talking about, just think about it. If you don't have it, Ivan Van Sertima is going to disappear. Yusuf Big Yakiman, Renuko Rashidi, J.A. Raj, all that kind of stuff is not going to be around if you don't have it and if we don't value it.
Right.
And these people who have put the due diligence and the time in to give you real Black history, real Black history. So, I'm just advising all of those that are in the sound of our voice, wherever you are in the world. If you got bookstores and you want Black history and you want those kind of things, just trust and believe that the critical race theory, America started everything. So that means it's going to be here and it'll go over to England and it'll go over here and it'll go over there, because they don't want you to know the
Right.
real history of yourself. Before you know it, they'll be done spent it and told you the original man is white and you crawled up out the ground or something. And you and your children will be arguing with you about
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
They'll be arguing with you about we came out of the ground. See, look. You see that? That's why our nails is different. That's why our hair is different. That's why our skin is dark. Because we crawled out of the ground. So
You.
I'm not saying they saying that right now,
Right.
but think about, and I'm gonna end on this. There are literally thousands of so-called scientific books that talked about why Black people was inferior, from your nose to your hair to your skin to your ability to dance, all of that. They scienced it all up to make you inferior, you know, and then they would sit around, and the reason they can do that is because of a condition known as bubble shubbala, and that's the kind of stuff they would do.
Right.
And so I'm just telling you that's real.
And I want to say this, Sister Chantel, and then I want you to, just kind of give us a summary of everything and anything else you like to say to our listeners. Um, but with what he's saying is, this is why we have to write.
Yes.
We have to write books.
Yeah.
We have to write articles. We have to do magazines. We got Rise magazine that comes out of Atlanta. My husband just wrote a beautiful book. It will be in the stores very shortly.
Yes.
Dreams versus manifesting into reality. So, I believe that we're living in a time where Allah is putting a lot in our hearts and our minds, and He's opening us up for the new world that's coming. And so we have to put these things in writing, because there are so many thousands and thousands of books out there that discredit us as human beings. There's so many things out there that discredit us as women, how important our role is as mothers. We have to write. We have to share this knowledge and wisdom with our people so that it is here for future references. But so many of us are lost. So many of us need direction. So if Allah is giving you direction, He's putting it in your heart and giving you the passion to do it, then we have an obligation to share it with our people.
Yes, ma'am.
Just saying this. I'll be waiting on your book soon.
Uh-oh.
But look, no. It don't have to be long. Everybody think they gotta write a manuscript. You don't have to write a manuscript. You a mother. You got several children. You've experienced different attitudes. You've experienced different things. You dealt with health challenges. You dealt with
Yeah.
people need to know all of that kind of stuff so that that sister that's going through the same thing you went through, oh, I could go to this book. I could go over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was talking about this, and she recommended that, and she recommended the other. Our life is important to
Yeah.
others.
Right.
Our
Yeah.
life is important to others because the only one that can walk your life the way you walk it is you.
That's
So
right.
Right.
it don't matter if we all wrote the same kind of book. Your perspective is different, mine and hers is
Yes.
different. This is my last question for you because we know you got a lot of things to do. So as a black woman and a journalist, a lot of times people talk about how they experience sexism and things like that in the workplace, and not being respected for their minds and whatnot. How different is that working for the final call?
Well, I know years ago, basically when I first moved here to Chicago, we were still at the office. When I worked in the office setting at the final call, everyone was respectful of one another. Very respectful.
Yeah.
Um, One thing I want to say, the sisters, we're not walking around with skin tight clothing on. Dressed very modestly. Um, not there's no office place flirting and what you get in other settings. None of that occurred. Now that things have changed, um, as a sister going out on location representing the Final Call newspaper, dress modestly, respecting myself. So, when you respect yourself, other people have no choice but to reciprocate that.
Right.
And
Right.
also, I want to address the sister was saying, we had to start writing, and I'm pretty sure you all have heard this too. A lot of adults, especially black adults, they don't read. They don't like to read. And, then when they do, you do find someone that says, "Oh, I read all the time," but it's trash. It's trash. They read trash. So we have to change our mindset. Start reading, but we need to start reading things of substance.
Right.
Things of substance. And I would say with this COVID stuff with the vaccines, they scrub the internet of certain information, and the brother was saying they're gonna be banning books or taking away books. That just reminded me of the book by George Orwell, 1984.
Come on now,
It's
come
like
on
we're,
now.
we're, we're living that, and if you're not familiar with the information in that book, I would highly recommend that you get 1984. Oh my God, this book was written decades ago, but we're living in it, living like almost word per word what was stated in that book. And also, like, if you're not in the Nation of Islam and you don't want to read How to Eat to Live or Mission of Black Man or Fall of America or Torchlight for America, I will highly recommend that you do read those books. And also, you'll find the books that you do read
Oh
She
wow.
found
Look at
out.
Come on.
She
Look
found
at
out.
him.
She gonna wait on the at the end.
Nah, it was the
They look.
that was the there you go. They
Oh, there
dropped
she
off.
go.
Yeah.
Why they gotta drop off at the end?
technical difficulty. What I was saying that you'll find that the books that you do read and you do respect, they are basically bearing witness to our information, because most of the information that's out all came from the Nation of Islam,
Mm,
especially How to Eat to Live.
That's
Come on
right.
now.
All this intermittent fasting nonsense, all
Mhm.
that is 1 meal a day.
That's
That's right. And they even talking about old man diet now. Old man.
One mi- 1 meal
One
a day.
day,
Yeah.
exactly.
Like who's like, who was teaching that? Who was teaching that decades ago?
Exactly.
You know,
Wow.
being a vegetarian, we did that.
That's right.
So,
That's
like, if you all see me on Facebook and you see that I'll put a quote from How to Live,
Mhm.
then I put another quote from another book, basically
Mhm.
bearing witness, just to show that How to Live is top shelf.
That's
come
right.
on now.
We're the original. We're the originators. Everybody else came from us. So you can't say, well, I'm not into those teachings. Yes, you are.
Yeah.
It's just they just put their name on it.
Come
Right.
on
You
now.
didn't want to hear it
So
from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Right.
You wanted to hear it from, what's his name? Kevin, who wrote that book on
Kevin
Kevin
Trudeau.
Trudeau.
right,
Yeah,
Oh, he's
right.
no.
in
You
prison.
wanted,
He's been in. They put him in jail.
yeah, yeah. But he was given that knowledge, that wisdom,
Yeah.
but a lot of our people don't want to hear it from the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and the
Right.
honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. But we want the world to know that we are here and we
Yes.
stand with the honorable Elijah Muhammad, the
Yes.
honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan,
That's
and the
right.
Nation of Islam.
That's
And
right.
we know, and we try. We've tried it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you and I personally have reaped the benefits of 1 meal a day, 1 meal every other day, fasting, 3 times. If we did not do that, sis, where would our health condition be?
Right.
Oh my gosh.
You know,
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
and we know that subject necessarily is maybe more for Love My Kidneys, but the fact remains that because of the wisdom that we have been given,
Mm-hmm.
at a young age to read, to, strive to understand and to love ourselves and love our people. It has helped us in our life's journey, because I can't even imagine where I would be without this knowledge and teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Exactly.
And
Yes.
again, we want to thank you so much for your time today. We thank you for your words that you write in the Final Call
Yeah.
newspaper. We
Mhm.
look forward to your articles. We really do. We look forward to, of course, we're always sharing here on Mindspark Creations to get the Final Call newspaper,
Always.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
because it is absolutely important. May Allah continue to bless you on your journey, sis.
Mm-hmm.
Thank
We love
you.
you. There's nothing
Thank
you can do
you.
about it. And we
Yeah.
look forward to the next opportunity we have to speak with you on
Yes,
one of
ma'am.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that book.
our. Okay.
So, if you need a formula, I can show you how to do it in 2 weeks. So,
Oh
if you
wow.
need a formula, I can show you how to do a book in 2 weeks. You'll be like, wow, I did that. Yeah, you did that in 2 weeks' time. I mean, to print now.
The brother Kareem, formerly known as Brother Ernest J. He says my husband is the new pusher man. He gonna push you to greatness. And that's what we have to do. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, according to Brother Kiam, formerly known as Brother Jesse, that we should live in the world of ideas.
That's right.
Yeah.
Constantly having new ideas, new thoughts, and follow through with them. And as my husband has written in this new book, it's a book and a workbook, and there's going to be a workshop as well. Dreams versus manifesting into reality. We have to now start manifesting what it is that's in our hearts and our minds, and stop taking um, these skills, these abilities that we have to the grave.
That's
The
right.
grave can't do nothing with it.
Can't do nothing with it.
It's meant for us in our time of living. So now we have to be about manifesting,
That's right.
Mhm.
and making these things reality. You feel so much better when you can have it in your mind and then you actually bring it out into
Yes.
existence. So I'm looking forward to us continuing our relationship and growing our people to knowledge, wisdom, and understanding.
Yes, and
Yes,
thank you
ma'am.
so much again for all that you do. And we know it is a serious juggling act being a writer with your boots on the ground, a mother, a wife. We already know it's a serious juggling act, and we thank you for your sacrifice
Yes.
and for everybody over at the final call. I already know
Give them
how.
all our greetings.
Yeah, I already
Yes,
know how it
ma'am.
is on Monday. It's like we ain't going home until it's done.
Well. No. Well, we got the pandemic, so yeah, that's.
They're at home.
Okay.
They're already at home. You just got to be on that. Yes, get it done.
You got a tight
All right.
Mhm.
Yes, ma'am. All right, Queen. Well, may Allah continue to bless you to have an awesome rest of the day.
Thank you. You too.
All right. Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum salam.
We want to thank Steph Martinez for tapping in, Maxine Dunn, Xenocide Cold Boy, and I don't know, I can't see everybody, but we thank everybody for tapping in today with us as we spoke with our beautiful sister, Sister Shawntell Muhammad, and we are so proud of her and the work that she's doing over at the final call, and proud of all of them and that staff. And if you are not receiving your final call, we definitely highly recommend that you get your final call. Adopt you a Muslim. Find you a beautiful brother on that corner with that final call. But if you just don't know no Muslims, then either you could get the digital edition or hit us in the inbox, and we'll make sure you get that paper each and every week. If you're here in the Phoenix or Tucson area, then my son and I will be so honored and proud to get you that final call each and every week. We might even bring a bean pie too. You know how we do it. You know how we do it. So family, before we close out, we didn't get opportunity to play the rest of that song for our sister. So we gonna play it in its entirety and then go ahead and wrap it up. This is our congratulations song for her. I know she's been working there since 1997, but officially, I mean, long term, just a couple of months. So this is our celebration song for her.
Yes.
And we pray you enjoy it. If you need any music for your podcast, your songs, stuff like that, get at your brother, and I'll be glad to work with you. We pray you enjoy it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We love you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
That's right.
Be the best because you are absolutely the best. And don't forget to let the spark in your mind create a new reality. So we're going to close out with this song. Oh, don't forget to join us on Love My Kidneys. That's going to be in another half hour. And we're going to be talking about the affliction of addiction. We're going to be talking about the affliction of addiction. And many of us are suffering from that or know someone who is. This is going to be a powerful and a wonderful show. We want you to come on over to Love My Kidneys. So if you're on YouTube, all you got to do is come back at 10:30. That's our time, and that is 12:30 Central Standard Time. Just come on back, and it'll be streaming live right there. So we're going to play this song. May Allah continue to bless each and every one of you. And here we go.
All right.
Come on. Come on.
That's that Thursday energy, y'all.
That's fly.
Thinking Thursday energy. Thinking Thursday energy.
Come on.
That's right. All right.
Then on you. Then on you.
Yeah, I was
All right, fam. We thank you. We appreciate you.
All right, fam. I look, that song is gonna be available. We working on finishing up another project, but we're gonna start making these songs available so that you can actually purchase those songs. Hit us again if you need any music for your songs or your podcast or just your personal collection. Just let us know.
That's right.
And we'll be glad to help you out. May Allah bless and keep you. Come on, join us in about 22 minutes at Love My Kidneys. All right. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, fam.